It's here where they process information vital to solving cases, with a call to have additional agencies monitor and police these areas. The possibility at this point seems very real. Top of the day, everyone. I'm Andrew Murphy. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Island News. It's the first of many to come. GovGuam agencies are teaming together with private companies to improve the island's infrastructure. Today, the fanfare was well received as the Guam Power Authority turned over the key of the Tangeesan power plant to the HEI Power Corporation. For the past couple of days, we've touched on the destruction caused by Typhoon Dale. But tonight, things are a bit different for residents down south as the government unveils the first in a line of recovery plan. Fire investigators are working at this hour to determine the cause of an explosion in an Agana Heights home. Rescue personnel were dispatched to the area following a distress call from 3 stranded swimmers. When they arrived at the scene, the 3 were already on shore. GFD personnel began to administer CPR to one of the swimmers, an 8-year-old male. The case of a man accused of murdering and raping a Jigo girl went before members of the Supreme Court today in a historic plea. Good evening and welcome to this Tuesday edition of Island News Late Live. I'm Andrew Murphy. Coming up in the cast, staff at one elementary school opened their doors a little early in a show of hospitality. Plus, Dan Aguirre will be here later with local and national sports highlights. But first tonight. Amid all the pomp and circumstance befitting a presidential arrival, hundreds gathered last year as Air Force One touched down on the tarmac, hoping to catch a glimpse of the nation's chief executive. And almost 1 year to the day since the president's albeit brief stop, the forewarning of the Asian economic crisis still ring true today. At the Naval Ship Repair Facility, the calm seas bear a reminder that the future looks grim, despite President Bill Clinton's pledge to restore economic growth in the region.
We will aid Guam in transforming the Navy Ship Repair Facility into a viable commercial operation.
Given the president's promises, many wonder if Guam's concerns have once again fallen on deaf ears in the halls of Congress, as the recent awarding of a repair contract to a Korean ship repair facility pits American workers against their Korean counterparts. Guam's congressman wants the U.S. Navy to rethink its decision on a national scale.
First of all, is Guam important enough to the Navy to help to continue to have shipyard repair capability, some shipyard capability in Guam. And if Guam is that important, then the Navy has to put some shipyard work here.
And when U.S. representatives boast of Guam's strategic importance, mostly in times of national defense, the congressman questions if all along it's really been about costs.
When the Navy does work in Korea, South Korea, or any other foreign country, these shipyards are, in effect, subsidized. So as Americans, we're asked to compete.
Until the president's pledge is realized, workers at the shipyard hope the next vessel to pull into port will somehow bring a brighter economic future. Reporting for the Island News Team, I'm Andrew Murphy. A sense of patriotism filled the air at Polaris Point this morning as the Navy bid adieu to Rear Admiral John Greenert, whose accomplishments add to an already impressive military career. But he says his time on Guam has taught him valuable lessons about the island's importance, a lesson he passes on to his replacement, Rear Admiral Tom Flynn.
Guam is definitely necessary for the security of Asia and the South Pacific, and it's going to be that way well into the next century.
Vice Admiral Walter Doran, commander of the U.S. 7th Fleet, echoes Greenert's sentiment. He says never before has Guam played such a key role in the nation's defense.
This year marks the 100th anniversary of the United States Navy's presence in Guam. The presence here of so many friends from the community truly reflects the strong relationship that our Navy has traditionally enjoyed with the people of Guam and the Marianas.
With the change of command of the U.S. Naval Forces Marianas, Rear Admiral Tom Flynn is now tasked with the responsibility of steering the U.S. Navy on Guam into the next century. But it's not expected to be an easy task. He also inherits a number of challenges. They include military downsizing, the awarding of a ship repair contract to Korea, and the results of the A-76 study, and most recently, news of espionage by a Navy petty officer once stationed on Guam. But Flynn says he's set to tackle the challenges.
But no matter what the challenge, we will never lose sight of our primary mission, and that is supporting the operating forces of 7th Fleet.
And what's more, he has the support of his superiors and the men and women of the 7th Fleet to guide him.
I know that Guam will be as important to us in the next century as it has been in the last. But no matter what the immediate issue or what today's headlines might say, the United States Navy is committed to continuing our enduring relationship with Guam.
Reporting from Polaris, Andrew Murphy, Island News.
With children in tow, some carried flowers and candles to Ledzing Barrigada this morning, where the sun shone through blue skies, providing the perfect backdrop for the hundreds who gathered to honor their loved ones. In observance of All Souls Day, many took the time to pause and remember an uncle, an aunt, and for some, almost an entire family.
This is the 4th one I've cleaned. I have 2 brothers, my father, and also my grandparents, and this is my grandparents' uncle.
It's days like this that remind Claire of her 2 brothers. Cleaning their grave sites is her way of keeping their memory alive.
I remember a lot. I miss a lot of spending time together with my family, most especially my 2 brothers. They were very good. I really miss them.
And just a yard away, Ramona Artatis and her daughter Pam remember Samuel Artatis, a man who continues to hold a special place in both their hearts.
Well, he is a good husband, very patient. He died of cancer.
In contrast to the somber, almost bittersweet mood today, the giggles and smiles on the faces of kids like this little boy.
Put the flower down for Nana and Tata. Over here, over here. Put it down, honey. Put it. No, nicely, nicely.
Serve as a reminder that life is short.
Live life the way you want to live it, because when your time comes, you know, you never know when your time will come. It's like tell someone you love them, and now when it's too late.
And it indeed does go on.